Hey folks, thanks for stopping by my channel. If you like my videos, please subscribe. I do hope to get back to more regular uploads. If you like the video, please share. Please give it a thumbs up and share it. Because this video coming up is going to be something that holds some importance, at least in my opinion. So let's talk about creepy and scary animals. Every day, people kill animals they think are creepy and scary for no other reason than they are afraid of them, basically. Whether it's spiders, snakes, bats, wolves, coyotes, all of these things, this can have a very negative impact on the environment as well as on public health. So, how can it affect public health, you may ask? Well, every year, a snake, such as this black rat snake here, can eat up to 9 pounds of rodents. That can equal up to 192 mice. As you know, rodents themselves carry disease. Mice and rats. Certain species of rats can carry the fleas that have the bubonic plague. Not only that, the rodents that these snakes are eating are going to have ticks on them. Ticks can have a severe impact on humans, as far as things like Lyme disease and Rocky Mountain spotted fever. These are things that can have detrimental impact if not treated. A single timber rattlesnake can consume between 2,500 and 4,500 ticks a year. So they're eating, these timber rattlesnakes and snakes in general are eating things that carry ticks, and the ticks that are on these animals are in turn being eaten by the snake, and those lessen the chances of diseases coming in contact with humans. Something like spiders. Spiders eat between 400 million and 800 million tons of insects across the globe each year. Bats, which a lot of people are afraid of, can eat up to 1,000 or more small insects in a single hour. This does include mosquitoes, so it's taking things like malaria and other mosquito-borne illnesses, West Nile virus, Zika. Bats can really affect the populations of mosquitoes, and in turn help decrease the likelihood of you getting said disease. Mosquitoes themselves are actually more responsible for more human deaths per year than any other animal. Things like wolves and big cats, as well as other predators like alligators and crocodiles and things, pick off the sick and unhealthy animals, making the population of the prey animals healthier. They also keep populations of prey animals under control. So these creepy crawly things and predators and things that we're afraid of, they really benefit the environment and humans themselves as a whole. With these number of benefits, things are still dying. So people are still killing these animals in droves. Every year, thousands of rattlesnakes are killed in rattlesnake roundups. This is driven by tourist dollars. But the communities of where these roundups occur claim that it keeps the snake populations in control. It's actually not quite so. It's really hurting the snake populations. They won't say that, but it is. I remember a few years ago watching a documentary of where a lot of times getting these snakes in these roundup communities, they would go to den sites and spray gasoline in the den sites, and the snakes would crawl out, and they would gather up the snakes. And thousands of these snakes at each roundup are killed, butchered, sold for belts and boots, and their meat sold on the market. But where they use this gas to catch the snakes, that den site's no longer viable for years to come. This has greatly decreased the population. There was a rattlesnake roundup in Georgia. Thankfully, that no longer, the roundup itself no longer exists, and it is an environmental, kind of an environmental conference, educating the public of these animals. Thousands of more snakes are killed on the roads and by people just seeing them around their house and killing them. Not realizing that these snakes are playing a very key part. Without snakes, rats, mice, and other pests could very well overrun us, because foxes and bobcats and things that keep these in check, as well as snakes. If we kill the snakes, the foxes and bobcats aren't really around, and people kill those off too. So these populations of pests will get way out of control. In many places, the predators, like I was saying, wolves, coyotes, and the big cats, whether it be bobcats, mountain lions here in the States, or things like leopards or jaguars in other places. These are being, in places they're being killed to protect livestock, and they're also being killed for their furs. Livestock does make a really opportunistic source for food for these animals. So we need to learn a better way to keep our livestock, but still protect the predators. Things like bears. The Great Smoky Mountains National Park is one of the largest, was the most visited park in the United States as far as national parks go. It beats out Yellowstone annually. It beats out Yosemite. It beats out all these other parks. For one, it's in a really good location. Southern Appalachia is in very close to places like Atlanta and Nashville, Louisville, Kentucky, and Lexington, as well as Charlotte and all these other really big cities. It's not that far from New York, Boston, Philadelphia. So, and going to the park fairly regularly, you see all people from all these places. These people bring in dollars, tourist dollars. People want to see the bear. The bear in the Great Smoky Mountain, they had the largest, at least at one time, they had the largest bear population of any park in the United States, black bear population. And people want to see these bears. I mean, there's huge traffic jams because of bears in this park. So we need to protect wolves and coyotes and things like this, because they can be beneficial. They can bring in money from people just wanting to see that, and the community. They can bring in money to the community for places like these parks are. We have the Big South Fork National River and Recreation Area not far. It's here just a couple miles from my house. There's a large bear population in there now. They're bear all over the place here, and people love to see them. So just because something is creepy, scary, does not mean it needs to die. We need to protect these creatures, whether it be spiders. I know I'm an arachnophobe. I'm terrified of spiders. I try not to kill spiders, especially spiders that are outside. If I see them outside, I'm not killing them. So whether it be spiders or snakes, if you see a snake, leave it alone. It's not going to bite you. A snake, whether it be rattlesnake, copperhead, Or if you're in somewhere like India or Africa, the cobras and things, these are not out to kill people. They try to defend themselves, and sometimes people step on them or they mess with them, and these snakes are afraid for their life, so they're going to lash out in the only way they can. So just because they're scary doesn't mean that we do not need to protect them. We as a species ourselves needs to learn to live side by side with nature and not destroy the things we fear or do not understand. And let's use the animals and the wildlife and the natural beauty of an area to bring in the money, and not things like rattlesnake roundups, because that's just it's not sustainable. Or if you let these things live, and people will come to see. So I know it was kind of rambly. I didn't want it to be. I hope you all have a great day. Thanks for watching, and just protect the wildlife.